And what do we got, people? We got the middle of us, which is going from our back to our front and looping around us in the middle, from our bottom to our top, is looping around in the middle. You have from your booty to your head, which goes from the back to the front, and you stand up. That's why you can't bend your back backwards, because that's what keeps you level. Standing up is that there's a looping in the middle of that's your spine and your butt to the head. That loops in the middle. But you can stretch it and bend backwards if you stretch it enough and you work it. But you got to do that. See, that's not normal. Normal is just standing up, and it's from the back to the front. That's normal. But if you got injured, then you would have to do both ways for it to correct back into places, and then back into places back into place. So you have places that then correct back into place. And then you have the normal, which is how it is rotating normally. But then if you did stretching and stuff like that, then you have that you can do. I understand. But there's the normalness of it, which you do have both ways, but it goes from the back to the front, which is leveling you. And then you have the equator of you, which is your waistline. And then you have your upper, which is your neck, and that in your head and that. And then you have your waistline, which is your legs and your body. And you got your arms and stuff. And then what else do you have? You got the magma, which is static electricity, what we call it. And that is at a certain temperature, that has to be in a certain pressure, that has to be, and you have movement, friction and movement and pressure and the right temperature that creates that static electricity. Just like in the sun, you have the right temperature, and then you have cool spots in the sun, which is different stuff going on there, different pressures and different temperatures happening. And then the electricity, the static electricity and all that is different. And then you have that happening inside of you, which is your blood. What do you have? Your brain, you have your heart, you have your private area. All this stuff has to be at a certain temperature, and you have the rest of your body, and that blood has to be at that certain temperature as it's flowing, and the static electricity and all of that is working inside of the body and flowing and creating that static electricity that's in your brain and your heart and in your private and in your body, that also is receiving that as the blood flows and moves within your body. And that's why you get too cold and then it freezes, and then it dies, because all of that is now gone because it got too cold. Or if you get too hot, then it all evaporates And then you need water and condensation and stuff. That's why if it gets too hot, then that happens and you die. You understand? We're dealing with a constant battle of all this happening, just like Earth is, just like the sun is, just like everything that is created that deals with all of this stuff that happens, and it is happening within our own body that makes life here as we are human beings now. But it's all similar to the same, but in different existence and reality here. Like I explained, and all that's being done. So that's why everyone is different, you know. Everyone is different and everyone has their difference about them and how that is. You know, just like a radiation of the sun, you have bigger stars, you have a bigger radius, you have maybe the light that traveling is probably faster. You know, the bigger the star, the more radius it has, or the stronger the star and all that, you know, and it has more of a radius and that, and then maybe the speed of the light, which they call, is faster, and these things rotating and moving, stuff like that. I don't know, but hey, what's all the smart people out here? What? Try figure some stuff out, smart people. Goodbye.